So we are delighted to be with KD Davison. Can we firstly know what is your name? KD, it's really curious. It's really
It's an abbreviation, KD.
yes, but why you use abbreviation and not your name? What's your name? We cannot know. It's just KD. We have to call you KD. So
I like to remain mysterious, you know what I mean?
That's
It
wonderful.
stands for my first and middle name, so those are my actual initials.
So Mrs. KD won yesterday the award for Best Documentary with Fragments of Paradise that Arts Live viewers and spectators would love because it's about Jonas Mekas. So and she spent about 1 year in the archive. So how it was this trip?
Oh my, how do we begin? So in the beginning, the film came to me because I was friends with Sebastian and Una Mikas, and we started talking about the film shortly after Jonas died. And
His son?
yeah, Sebastian is Jonas's son, and the first thing that we realized we'd have to do, like I went to his apartment, I began seeing his incredible archive. I mean, his archive is literally New York's history. You know, he arrived in 1949, and he even kept the scarf that he fled Lithuania in. You know, he has Ginsberg's beard from a dare when Barbara Rubin shaved the beard off of Ginsberg perfectly in place in this like little preserved McDonald's lunchbox. You know, I mean, it's so incredible. But daunting, you know, and to be able to go in and get it all together, the first thing we realized we had to do was digitize all the material. It's thousands and thousands and thousands of raw mini DV tapes transferred from High 8, you know, over time, plus all of his Bolex footage that existed, you know, and had already been digitized. So we just started getting it into one place. And then I spent about a year just trying to watch everything down. I think I got through about 500 hours in around 8 months. And I don't know, I think that's how he meant his work to be seen. You know, like for everybody who's interested, I would say go, the archive exists, dive in, begin to watch. Like there's something that really happens to you when you start to just immerse yourself in Jonas's life and activity. It's like an entire life is there on film. He's still alive, he's immortalized himself. And because he was so honest and authentic with the camera, you really have a sense that you're meeting someone and talking to your closest friend over time.
But how this experience impacted, influenced you? Since, I mean, everyone was influenced by Jonas Mekas, Scorsese, Bogdanovich, Warhol, Jim Jarmusch, and a bunch of greatest director. What happened to you personally?
I don't know. I mean, I think the freedom with which he approaches his work, you know, was just really so apparent to me, and the joy. You know, like when you're making a film, you have an idea like, oh, I want to win the Lion at Venice. You know, I mean, I didn't even have that idea because I didn't think it was possible, but you know, you have these ideas. You want people to see your film, you have attachment to an outcome. Not for Jonas. He just created for the joy of creation because he could not do anything else. He didn't care if anybody saw it, you know, he didn't care what happened to it. Like he was just making, and it made him happy, you know, and I couldn't help but be aware of that throughout, you know, the period of as I was watching this stuff. And if I could take that into my work and my art, that would be so incredible.
It's a great year for New Yorkers because even the Golden Lion was about Nan Goldin, Laura Poitras.
A documentary won the Golden Lion. I mean, go documentaries. Yeah. It's just
So please comment. We need to comment that about two artists, about two documentaries, about even two women directors. So it's just sound perfect.
I mean, Laura is my hero. I've seen everything she's ever made, and I had this incredible honor of meeting her for a minute last night, and she's a big fan of Jonas. You know, she said that she was excited to see our film, and I just was over the moon. She was so incredibly gracious. I haven't had the chance to see her film yet, and I cannot wait. I mean, that issue, that particular issue that Nan took on the Sackler family, you know, is just so incredible. She's such an incredible artist, and I've been dying throughout this whole festival season to see it, so I can't wait.
Oh, before you just name the joy of Jonas Mekas, but it's also true that for all his creative life, about 70 years, he had to fight with his own trauma of exile and all the rest that he went throughout when he was a child. So can you please comment about that?
I think that that was the most, one of the most important things about Jonas's story is that, you know, I don't know, like, if we can really understand what true beauty is, what true joy is, if we have not experienced real pain and real hardship. And it became clear as I watched this footage over time that the themes he was dealing with again and again was about this incredible loss. So we actually had the opportunity to go back to Semenishke, to go back to the place that he lost. And I think it was the point where we were there, where we got to meet his relatives who were there, his cousins who were there when he finally came back after 27 years in exile, that the pain of that loss really began to sink in. His family didn't even know he was alive or dead for 10 years after he and Adolphus left. So it's just, I mean, I think displacement is the issue of our time. You know, it was the issue of the 20th century and now the 21st century, and it's just something we're going to be grappling with as climate change becomes more and more just an issue that we're dealing with. And to see a refugee who was able to take all of that pain and transmute it with his camera, with his artwork, you know, like, and turn it into something that's beautiful, and then figure out sort of the meaning of life after, like, having worked with it all of that time is really inspiring to me, and I think really has a lot to offer people today.
And what about Anthology Film Archive after he passed? What about the heritage of all his work and also all the projects about independent cinema? I remember that I spent many time when I was there studying, so...
Anthology is still alive and well. It's right there on Second and Second. You can go see it. You can make a pilgrimage and, you know, like, go to the temple that was Jonas. I mean, it had a hard pandemic, just like all theaters in New York, which is one of the reasons we shot in theaters in New York, to help try to support them. You know, we were making this during the pandemic. It was a really difficult time. But it's there. It is going strong. Go see films there, support the work there. You know, I hope it's an institution that continues to grow and build. And also, Jonas's archive itself is now housed at Mana Contemporary, which is in Jersey City, right across the water. And Sebastian Mikas, his son, has recreated his entire home and the way that the archive was set up in this studio space that the public can go visit. And I believe they have sort of showings and screenings of his films every month, like a couple times a month.
But let me understand well, how will be the future of Fragment of Paradise? Do you already get an Italian distribution, and where we could see the documentary even in United States?
We need distribution. That's what we're hoping will happen, you know?
Please, anyone hearing there, we need a distribution.
Exactly. That's what we hope will happen. I mean, this is such an incredible honor that we didn't expect. I hope it helps. You know, we'd like it to be on streamers and available all over the globe. Like, so many wonderful people and artists from all over the world have been reaching out and want to see it, want to show it. So I really hope we have that opportunity soon.
Just last question about your background.
Oh, what about it? So Jonas, I actually met him when I was in school. I was studying political theory, you know, because I wanted to change the world, and I started thinking maybe film is the best way to reach people and help people, but I had no idea how to do it because I was from Texas, you know, like, I just had no idea what to do. And I was going down to Anthology, and I got to meet Jonas, and I asked him, like, what should I do? Should I go to film school? And he said, don't go to film school, just make films.
So you met him before, you knew him?
Yeah, so I met him, and that's what I ended up doing. So making this film was like repaying this incredible debt, because he kind of set me on the paths where I did a lot of work. I've worked for many years. I worked in commercials, music videos, you know, all kinds of things. this is only, this is my first documentary that I really wanted to make, that I got financed myself. So in a way, it's very much the beginning, but I've been working for a long time to try to get here.
Let's go and see Fragment of Paradise. Grazie, Katie.
Grazie. Hello to Arts Life.
And there was Mama, and she was waiting. She was waiting for 25 years.